I'm Jaxon.
And I'm Dylan. And this is Wacky News. Welcome to Wacky News. My name is Dylan. This is a podcast for kids, about kids, and presented to you by kids. My brother Jaxon and I will share neat stories every week for you to discuss with your friends on the school bus, during lunch, or whenever you want.
Hi everyone, we're back with another episode of Wacky News. I'm Jaxon, super co-host extraordinaire.
And I'm Dylan, Jackson's sister.
Wait, that's the best you can do?
What? Am I not your sister?
No, what I meant was, never mind. Welcome to episode 8, guys. We've got a really awesome show for you this week.
We're really starting to get the hang of this podcasting, and we are super glad that you are listening to us and telling your friends and family about all the cool things you are learning.
Unlike the regular adult news shows out there, we want to make this one fun for kids to listen to and cover the kinds of stories we kids actually want to hear about.
We use the Wacky News machine to search the entire world for news stories each week that are perfect for kids. And in addition to talking about it here on the podcast, we also post videos and pictures on the Wacky News section of podcastplayground.com.
So you should definitely be checking out the website after downloading the episode each week. There you can get more details about stories you liked, and also go through the Wacky Words vocabulary list to learn the meanings of any of the bigger words you might not know.
And don't forget to subscribe to Wacky News while you're on the website. This way you won't miss any of our new episodes, and you can be sure that each week you will have awesome stories and jokes to share with your friends in school, in your neighborhood, or at summer camp.
And now, on to the show. Wacky News Machine. Dylan and I really enjoyed watching the Olympic Games this summer, and we're really sad they're over. Can you find an Olympic-themed story to share with us? Sweet, this story deserves a medal.
Going for the gold. Imagine the surprise of a 6-year-old girl and her father while out on a walk in their hometown of Atlanta. Chloe Cunningham spotted an Olympic gold medal on the side of the road. Chloe noticed the medal in some trash and bushes and picked it up to take it home. Her mother thought it was yet another piece of junk that her spunky little girl could not resist from bringing home. But her father was convinced that it was the missing gold medal he had heard about in the news a month before. The medal was stolen from former slalom canoeist Joe Jacoby, who had won the medal at the 1992 Summer Olympics in Barcelona when someone broke into his car.
Slalom canoeing is a sport where athletes compete to steer their canoe or kayak through special poles hanging over white water rapids. It is really tough.
Mr. Jacoby had worked very hard for that gold medal and was worried the medal was gone for good. Chloe's mom wasn't sure the gold medal was real, but she did some research online and found Mr. Jacoby's email to send him pictures of the medal and see if it was his. Sure enough, it was his. The Olympic gold medalist couldn't believe it. When interviewed by ABC News, he said, "When you talk about character and doing the right thing, that girl has so many values of the Olympic Games. I think that Chloe represents and embodies all the Olympic values. In my eyes, she is an Olympian in every sense of the word."
She sure is. And even though she returned the medal without expecting anything in return, Mr. Jacoby gave Chloe a $500 reward and promised to visit her class in the fall.
Yay!
That was a great story, Wacky News Machine. We will have pictures of Chloe and Mr. Jacoby under our show notes, as well as some cool slalom canoeing videos.
Wacky News Machine, what is our next story?
Deep sea farming. It might sound like the set of a sci-fi movie, but off the coast of northwest Italy, the Ocean Reef Group is growing underwater gardens. 7 pods, also called biospheres, are strapped down to the ocean floor. Inside the biospheres, thanks to the help of experts in growing vegetables, the scuba diving company is growing things like lettuce, basil, red cabbage, strawberries, and beans. Their hope is to find new and different ways to grow food especially in areas of the world where soil is bad or there isn't enough water. The Ocean Reef Group has a special permit allowing them to conduct the research for 5 months of the year. May through September, the project is called Nemo's Garden. Nemo's Garden began in 2012, and the Ocean Reef Group has figured out lots of ways to improve the biospheres. Each pot is filled with air and has 8 to 10 trays of plants circling around the inside. The plants are being grown by hydroponics, which is a method of using water mixed with fertilizer instead of soil. This allows nutrients to go directly into the roots of the plants without the plants having to work hard to get them out of dirt.
So hydroponic farmers give their plants what they need when they need it and the exact amount they need.
Exactly. The Ocean Reef Group uses seawater at the base of the pots. It evaporates and drops collect on the roof. Then they drip back down as fresh water to feed the plants. And it is easier to use than greenhouses because when the pods are submerged in seawater, the temperature stays the same. Greenhouses have to use all sorts of heating and cooling systems to keep the temperature the same.
I hope this Nemo's Garden is successful. The Wacky News Machine is reporting that these hydroponic plants grow faster than the plants we grow on land. If you go to podcastplayground.com, you can see pictures of the inside and outside of the biospheres, plus the link to the live streaming feed.
So cool. Maybe we'll see some crabs or jellyfish trying to check out the plants.
Be sure to leave us a voice message through the Wacky News request line. Okay, Wacky News Machine, time for story number 3. What will it be?
Long distance puppy. So Jackson, have you ever heard of an ultra marathon?
Yeah, it's like those super important marathons.
Kind of. While a regular marathon is 26.2 miles, which is a long distance, an ultra marathon is any race that is longer than that. Most ultramarathons are between 50 to 100 miles, and a good number of races are even longer than that. This story begins with Australian ultramarathon runner Dion Leonard traveling to China to compete in the 150-mile-long Gobi March. The race is pretty grueling and takes place in the desert over the course of several days and nights, with the temperature getting as hot as 125 degrees Fahrenheit on some days. 101 people ran the race, as well as one little puppy? That's right, a tiny and adorable 18-month-old stray puppy started running with the athletes on day 1, and on day 2, she had decided that Dion was her person. She ran right alongside with him and would sometimes run a little bit ahead and wait for him to catch up to her. The two ran almost the entire rest of the race like that together, which included recovering and sleeping together at night, and crossing large rivers that were so big for the little dog that Dion had to carry her.
Aw, Dylan, look how cute she is. Here she is wearing the finisher's medal that she received after the race. We will put all of these pictures and videos on the website. She is so cute.
She really is. And over the course of the race, Dion completely fell in love with the little pup and decided to adopt her and have her flown from China to his home in Scotland.
That can't be an easy process.
No, it isn't. First of all, it is very, very expensive. So Dion and his wife started a Kickstarter page to raise enough money to bring little Gobi home. They ended up receiving enough donations to pay the cost, and all of the leftover money was donated to a local dog shelter. Second of all, there are a lot of steps to go through before an animal can leave one country to go to another. While Dion had to return to Scotland alone, he left Gobi with a friend so she could undergo the medical tests and quarantine procedures needed before she could leave the country. There is also a lot of paperwork being done too. The whole thing could take up to 6 months, and Dion was hoping the puppy could join him by Christmas.
That's the perfect end to his story.
But it didn't end there. A few weeks ago, Gobi went missing. Oh no! Dion flew all the way back to China to help get the word out to try and find his little puppy. He passed out flyers and posted on social media. Word spread pretty quickly and everyone was looking for Gobi. But after 5 days with no sign of the brave puppy, Dion started to give up hope. But a local Chinese man who had seen the posters was walking his own dog at the park and was convinced he found Gobi. He contacted Dion, who met him even though he was worrying it might be some other dog that only looked like Gobi. When he arrived, sure enough, it was Gobi. The little puppy ran straight to him and was so happy to be with his person again. And this time, Dion is staying home with Gobi in China until they can fly home together.
I'm so happy for them. We're going to post a lot of pictures and videos. Definitely check them out, you guys. On that happy note. And now it's time for Wacky Jokes! Today's jokes are brought to you by our dad Mike and Bad Dad Jokes on Twitter. Totally follow them. Why did the chicken cross the playground? To get to the other slide.
How do you organize a party in outer space? You plan it.
I just ate a frozen apple. Hardcore.
Rest in peace, spoiled water. You will be missed.
I don't trust stairs. They always are up to something.
Singing in the shower is all fun and games until you get shampoo in your mouth. Then it's a soap opera.
All right, everyone, that's it for episode 8 of Wacky News. Thank you so much for listening.
As always, be sure to go to podcastplayground.com and click on Wacky News for more information about me and Jaxon, as well as pictures and videos, wacky words, and more.
And don't forget that Toothy Trivia started today. Every day there will be a morning episode and an evening episode that you can listen to while you brush your teeth. So go to podcastplayground.com to subscribe to Toothy Trivia.
With the 2 minutes of fun facts and the trivia that Emma will be sharing, there will be no more rushing or brushing. See you next week.